All right. Hello, everybody. We're live. We are live. An exciting day. An exciting day. Looking forward to a good interview today. How is everybody doing? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Good to see all these people joining us. Hello. Hello, do we have Canada here? Hello, Kendi. Hello, everybody. Wow, great. Good to see everybody joining. Hello, Toronto. Welcome, Toronto. A big audience. Toronto is a big audience for us. It always has been. Hello, Alex. Hello, Alex. So really excited to have Alex Meneses, who played, as we all know, Stefania perfectly, and we'll get into it more. Hello, Texas. Hello, Boca Raton. Oh, nice. I think that's the first shout out from Boca. Yes. Yeah, Ray and I did a lot of stand-up in, someone saying, yes, Toronto loves ELR. Ray and I did stand-up in Canada way before Everyone's Raymond, and the audiences really loved him then. And I remember, hello, UK, hello, Manchester. Yes, which is like Toronto, but with more smog. True. Let's see, who else? Hello, West Palm Beach. Hello. Hello, New Jersey. Where are you from in New Jersey? We'll see where in New Jersey. Yes. Oh, hello, Philippines. Yeah. This is the time that's pretty good for reaching out to everybody in the world. So it's morning in Australia. It's nighttime in UK. We're here in the afternoon. And so it's a really perfect time. Unless you like to get up early in the UK or stay up late in Australia, then it's problematic. Okay. So once Alex joins us, we'll get into detail her character, and you can tell that everybody enjoyed Stefania, Alex Meneses, because she was recurring. And she didn't have to be recurring, meaning it would have been easy to write her out. But obviously, Phil and everybody really did like her. So Phil has the final say, Phil and Ray. So it fit perfectly, it dovetailed perfectly into who Robert was as a character. Yes, any famous actress who tried for the role of Stefania did not get it. Famous actress, yeah, interesting question. We'll ask Alex. Okay, let's see if Alex is there. Yes, she is there. Sorry, Alex. If you were waiting, yeah, that's a good question. Did any famous? Yeah, I want to get into it. Oh, wait.
Hi. Did you not want to connect me yet?
No, I did. Were you waiting there for a while?
No, I just got here about a minute ago.
Okay. Good to see you.
Good
Alex.
to see you. Just listening to all the people from all over the world. How cool. How wonderful.
Yeah, it's very cool in that, look how easy this is. You rolled out of bed, 10 minutes ago.
That's what I did.
Yeah, threw some makeup on, you just threw a phone, and now you're reaching the world. It was impossible 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's very, I love Instagram for that. It's wonderful.
And one of the problems, Alex, sorry, I'm going to hook up my external mic.
Hi, Swindon.
Yeah, please shout out. It thrills
Hi,
everybody
Karen.
when you shout out. Hold on, let's see. There we go.
I like the blue background. I like that song.
Yeah, it's I shoot a lot. Well, I'm going to pretend that you've never been to my house and you don't know the whole setup here. But yeah, I actually have a full studio, and that's one of the most complementary neutral colors. Now, yeah, Alex, not that you don't look fantastic in what, and I'm also colorblind. I'm slightly colorblind. So
are you really?
Yes. And as a photographer, it's a slight challenge. what is your back? Is that a pink background?
That is just plain old white.
Wow. Well, it
Plain
looks
old white. Cream. Here's gold. This is some kind of goldy, tanny thing. It's a bit bland. So I've got a nice bright orange dress on.
Yeah.
Contrast. I like that. That's good.
Yeah, that pops. The dress pops, and I will leave it at that. So here's the thing, Alex, which Brad Garrett's been on, and Phil a bunch of times, and Monica.
Sorry.
Please do that, because
has Ray been on? Let me ask you. Has Ray been on?
Ray's been on, but only because I was in his house. And here, I'm going to go back. This is Tom Caldabiano. I was a writer on the show for 9 years. We're talking to Alex Meneses, who played Stefania brilliantly. And
ciao.
So a lot of we'll be getting some. You're going to get a lot of men around the world flashback excitement. Alex, your question about Ray. So of course, people will like, get Ray on, have Ray come on. Now Ray does zero social media. I mean, zero social media.
Yeah, I know.
And so one time I was at his house, and Brad was supposed to be on, then he couldn't make it for whatever reason. So we did it. We had to reschedule. I was going to be at Ray's house, and it was that day that it was 121 degrees. Remember that crazy day? So I had to do it at Ray's house. And so Brad comes on, and Brad's like, "Where are you, Tom?" And I didn't really want, I'm at Ray's. You're at Ray's, get Ray, of course, right? So Ray doesn't even understand. Yeah. So Ray, first of all, Ray was like 100 yards away. And so for the fans, I wanted to make it clear that Ray would totally do it. He loves his fans. It's just, I said, Ray, I have to do an Instagram live with Brad. And he goes, "What is that? What does that even mean?" Ray. So he's like, "I don't even get it." So has Ray done it? Yes. He came on twice during Brad's. And he will come on.
By accident. Yeah, he's on Instagram. I texted him. I said, after we did the thing, and I'm like, "What is your Instagram?" There's a million Ray Romanos, but like nothing that is a blue dot. So
yeah, well, he won't do social media for various reasons. He just doesn't want to do it. So I had to convince him even to do a website that showed his dates in Vegas. That was it. I said, "Ray, nobody will write to you. Just at least people shouldn't find out that you were in Vegas after they leave Vegas." All right. About you now, Alex. First of all, you look fantastic, but I think, yes, we know that. Your hair is much better than mine. Let me see. I don't think my stylist
No,
is
I
late
like
today.
it. It's like messy bed hair.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that.
Yeah.
So Alex, because you've been in the business and you know it, and
Hi, Sean and Jenny.
Yes,
from
in the UK. Yes. You're beautiful, but I don't want to be too forward. I think that's for you, Alex.
What? You look stunning.
You're beautiful.
Thank you, Lana. Oh, part of you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lana.
These are all for you. I'm assuming you're gorgeous. That's probably for you also.
It might be for you, Tom.
No. So what I do want to do, though, is go back a little, because people don't even understand how, because there were a lot of questions before you came on today that were like, how did she get cat? Was she discovered? Were you having a milkshake in a place, and someone walked in and said, "Oh my gosh, you must be Stefania." And so, was Phil at the Hollywood Hills coffee shop doing it? So the question is, let's go back.
I almost didn't get the part.
Oh, that's really? Well, let's hear it. Let's hear it. So let's go back though. When did you start acting?
Well, I was a dancer since the time I was 3. My aunt had the neighborhood studio, so I took ballet and tap and jazz and all that. And then she got me an agent. She was like one of those stage moms, she got me an agent, and I started modeling and doing commercials, whether I sort of wanted to or not. So I enjoyed it. And then I started modeling, and then I went to Italy and lived there for 2 years when I was modeling. Now, this is a very, very long time ago.
You were though in your late teens, early 20s, or
yeah,
even
it was
earlier?
after high school. I had gotten a contract or an offer for a contract when I was 15, but my dad was not into that. He's like, there's no way you're going to Italy by yourself at 15.
By the way, I would
So,
call that a responsible father.
yeah, well, there were a lot of kids. There were a lot of little girls there that were 14 and 15 by themselves. It's very
Yeah.
strange.
Let me just read
Um,
this. Let me just read this. I'm going to
yeah.
stop. Stefania in Italy was the most beautiful woman on TV of all time. Now,
Aww.
now that's Farrah Fawcett. We have Linda Carter. That's a lot of competition. So that's a big compliment.
That's
All right.
huge. Thank you so much.
So
Thank
you're
you very much.
hello from Puerto Rico, Alex.
Hola.
So that's hello in Puerto Rican, I understand. And now
Hola, Boricua.
so
I
now
lived
you're
there. I lived there for 2 years, and I loved Italy. I love everything Italian. I love Italian food,
I'm
Italian
Italian.
clothes.
I am Italian. I don't want to
Of
include
course, I
myself in
love
the
you,
things.
Tom.
Yes.
You
Okay.
know I do.
All right.
But
I didn't want that to come off as a desperate plea to flirt, but
how's your child, by the way? How's
I
your
don't
little
even know
sweetie?
what you're talking about. So
Uh, I mean, I after 3 months of living in Italy, I was like, that's it. I'm here forever, you know. And
and what do
then
you
months, another 3 months, the honeymoon's over, and I'm like, why is everything closed from 1 to 3? Why can't I go to the grocery store or make prints? You know, why is everyone grabbing my ass? And somehow it's okay. And you know,
right?
so the love affair was still there. It was just
And what
changed. It just
let me
matured.
yeah, let me slow the story down a little bit because at that point you're in your teens still, or now your early 20s.
I was in my 20s. Yeah,
Okay, your
I
early
was in my
20s.
20s.
Okay, and what are you doing those 3 months? What is your daily activity when you're
Oh,
there
as a
for the three
model?
months?
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
what
trying to
what?
get work, trying to
So you're
going out for auditions and go-sees and meeting magazines and getting photographs and smoking a lot because even though I was much thinner when I went there, when I got there, they had me lose 10 more pounds, which I was like, I have no idea how I'm supposed to do that because I can't do that. So I just started smoking a lot. Smoking, walking around with other models and
and
going.
there are other American models with you keeping you company, and you're having some success. You're having a little success because I'm going to stop you before you answer. What I've made clear from everybody who's been on here is how hard is it to make it in every venture. So
And everything. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
everything. And so even when you've made it, even when you're Brad Pitt, you still have to fight to get a movie made. Like there's
Oh,
no,
yeah.
yeah. I remember reading about Angelina Jolie wanting to direct a movie and having to go in with her storyboards and trying to convince them and all this stuff. And I think from the outside, it just feels like, oh, you're beautiful and you're talented. So let's see, pick the roles you want and then try and get, just go up for those and then collect your residual checks. And so I think,
That's so
yes,
funny.
but I think from the out, and for me, before I was working on Raymond and then subsequently out here for 20 years, that's what it seems like from the outside. Once you made it, you kind of made it. So now you're trying to get work in Italy, and the reason I break that down is if you're working and you're successful, it's a much friendlier place wherever you live. And if
That's
you're,
so true.
yeah. And so if you're struggling, I'm not saying that you're struggling, I'm just saying that colors how you feel. So at the end of 3 months, you're being a little bit grabbed, things are closed, and you're like, maybe.
No, I loved it. I loved it. And I was working. I didn't work right away. I had to change agencies a few times. But when I got with the right agency, I started working like crazy. But here's the point. Here's a point I want to make also. I wanted to go there to be a model, a photo model, a magazine model, a high fashion model. Those were not the first jobs I got.
Mm-hmm.
Because they just weren't. I was a runway, but I was a showroom model, which meant I had to sit in the dressing room of the factory all day. Buyers would come in and say, I want to see this, this, this. I had to put the dress on or whatever it was and go show them and then come back and then sit and wait again, smoking, of course. And that was a job that I had done for weeks. And it was a job that like nobody wanted because they'd be like, I'm not going to do that. I'm a model. Here's me, the Mexican immigrant, the girl with the Mexican immigrant father. I'll take it. I will take it. So
Yes.
I was doing all those kind of grunt work jobs
In Italy.
in Italy, but
Right.
through that, I mean, I was a showroom model for Anna Molinari, who I became friends with, Blue Marine, where I'm still one of my favorite designers, and Gianni Versace. And I then became a fitting model for Gianni Versace for blouses and skirts, and it just builds. But my point is, you got to do what you got to do, even though it's not as glamorous or as it's not the cover of Vogue.
Right.
Well, so
let me
I did do that. I'm a hard worker.
Yeah, abundantly clear by looking at how much you've worked. And for me, generally being curious, is there any pecking order? And I'm going to say this as a parallel. In stand-up comedy, people want to work in the clubs in New York City. You make $8 a show. So Ray would make $8 a show. And on a busy night, he could do
Thank you.
8 shows. He could do 8 shows for $8. If you did a cruise ship, you could make $1,000 in one night, but nobody would ever discover you. So when you were modeling, when you're doing the Versace and they're telling you, is there a bad patina at all, or there's no risk of going, oh, she's just a showroom model, like we can't use her? Nobody knows.
No,
really.
I mean, I don't know if there was or not. I was having so much fun going to Giela, where the factories were in this cute little town, and I was enjoying myself so much. And I came from a poor family, so it's not like I had a choice unless I wanted to get a rich boyfriend or something, which I didn't want to do.
Right.
And also in Europe, in Italy, in France, wherever, you get paid nothing to be on the cover. Nothing. It's just you're on the cover. Right. Of something. So no, it didn't give me a bad feeling. I was just enjoying.
Yeah. Well, I just meant from the outside, from within the industry. Alex.
Yes, I know.
But this has totally gone away. In the old days, if a movie star went on TV, that was the end of your career. That was it. And now it's, after the success of The Sopranos and Breaking Bad and, other shows that are, well, now the lines are so blurred that it went away. And so but it really would be the kiss of death to be like their career's over now. Like they can't cross over. And now it's gone away. So with modeling, since I know zero, even though I know you probably thought I modeled, but I've never modeled and I know nothing about modeling.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for clearing that up. Hi,
no,
Randy.
I know that's one of the shockers you're going to learn today. I know nothing about that modeling world. What I was going to say is it's a very tough. So as an actress, it's tough, but you do have to have talent. As a model, yes, I'm not belittling that you have to be talented, but you're literally, it's like, here's what you're born with, and that ain't changing. So if you're 5'2", chances are you're not going to be a model. It just, it's kind of, and so, whereas in acting, which is still constant rejection, you have
something to give.
You can bring it. You could be not so attractive and not so in shape. There's so many factors go away for acting.
That's so true. That's very true. But about the pecking order, I guess there was that. I was oblivious. I was just having fun. I was just needing to make money in a respectable way. And like I said, I loved it, but it didn't affect me because I was there for a few months, and then I became the Claudio Laviola girl. It just became known around town that my body was good for lingerie because I was the fitting model and this, and so a lot of people in the industry saw my body.
And can I ask you, not all joking aside, is there, because like let's say there's a shoe size is a perfect, I don't know what it is.
Thank you, Gina.
A perfect 7. What is the shoe size that you have to be for a woman to be like a foot model?
Well, it used to be a size 6, but this is many, many years ago. My feet were too big. I was too big to be a fitting model.
But I'm saying by nature, just by nature, clearly I'm a man, so I'm not trying to be. What I'm trying to get is to clarify. You lucked out. in a way.
Oh,
You lucked out in that your size works for fitting models.
yes, and that's very important. Your size has to work.
Yeah.
That you know, but it also has to work for a specific designer. My body at the time was very Versace. You know, it wasn't maybe very Jenny, and it probably wasn't very Armani.
Right.
But it was but Mr. Versace, who, by the way, was the sweetest man and smelled so good and had the most gorgeous clothes. He was just so classy.
What cologne? By the way, you don't have the body for Banana Republic either. I just hate to tell you. I hate to break it to you. So what was his cologne that Gianni Versace wore? Did you ask him? I don't know if he had come out with it yet then, but I'd be curious. I remember David Letterman talking about meeting Richard Pryor the first time, and he said he smelled so good. He just smelled of success. It's whatever.
He smelled of success.
Yes.
Mr. Versace smelled of perfume, but it was just so perfect.
Yes.
He was class and the nicest man, and he really liked me. And
yes.
He liked me as a person. And you know, Italians are like that. They like it. Put her in the show, use her, I like her. Like this. So I was a Claudio Laviola girl. I got that contract, which was huge. Which put me into like another category. And then I started doing runway shows, even though I was not tall enough. The girls in shows were like 5'10", 6 feet, and I'm 5'8". But you know, they liked me, so they would put me in some shows. And I started working, and then I branched out and started living in Germany. And
so let me stop you for 1 second. Are you learning Italian? Because you're fluent in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Are you learning it? Are you learning Italian at the time, or not really at all?
Oh yeah, I jumped right in.
Okay.
Like I said, I loved the culture. I loved everything.
You answered that with a German yeah.
There's my fireman with fire flames.
Which one is he?
Fireman Scott is my fiance. He lives here with Stella and me.
This is how you break the news to me that our future is in jeopardy.
Yeah, but you met him.
Let me see. Yeah, no, I know.
Stop the drama.
I know. It's called entertainment. Here we go. I'm not finding him. Boy, this is the most comments of anybody so far. This is great, Alex. Okay, there he is. There's Scotty B. Hello, Scotty. That's a lot of flames. Have
He's
you
pretty hot. He's pretty hot.
Yeah, not my taste, but have you stayed in contact with any of your fellow ELR class? We'll get to that, castmates. Let's hear your Spanish shout us out. Oh, this is exciting. So, Alex, you have such a universal appeal in your Spanish, the Italian crossover, all of this stuff. Wow.
Yeah, I spoke Spanish. I speak Spanish, and Italian is similar. There's some similarities. Hi, Bella.
Hello,
I was
Cheshire.
trying to learn Italian. I was learning Italian like a student, like writing things down. This word means this. This word means that. So I was actively trying, and I was speaking Italian. And I mean, at that time when I was living in Europe, I went to Germany. I started to speak some German, and then I went to Greece, and I started to speak some Greek. I just love it. I love languages. But Germany was really, as much as I love Italy, Germany was where you made the money.
Where in Germany were you?
I was in Munich, München.
Okay. München.
And you would get these huge trips to go to Arizona or go to the Canary Islands, and you would shoot these huge catalogs, and you made a lot of money. So I was doing that.
In Germany, yeah. Hello from Wales. You're getting a hello from Wales.
Hi, Wales. Hello, Wales. Wonderful.
By the way, Alex, I'm doing a podcast. It hasn't launched yet. It's a much longer format and less interruptions. So one of the joys of this is being able to shout out, which I know seems annoying to people who are like, "Why are you talking?"
Really? It doesn't seem annoying. Is it annoying for you folks? I think it's
no. When you are watching, and for you, you're in the midst of a great answer, and then all of a sudden I say, hello, Sheboygan, how are you? So
it's okay. And
yes.
I love Sheboygan, and I actually want to get a house there. Have you ever been to the America Club in Sheboygan, Wisconsin?
I have not. I've been to Madison.
My God.
Really?
It was Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and Kohler, Wisconsin. No, you have to go to Kohler, Wisconsin, because they have we call it the Toilet Museum.
Oh.
They have a museum and a showroom of the most gorgeous bathrooms, toilets, sinks, showers. It is an amazing place.
What is it called?
Kohler.
Oh, the Kohler. Okay, so for people in Chechnya and Turkey right now, Kohler is a brand of
Toilets.
bathroom toilets and fixtures and stuff like that.
And
Kohler. Yeah, I did not think Kohler would come up in this interview, and I'm excited that it did. Because,
so am I.
Yeah,
so
because
am I.
And so what this actually does interest me, and we'll talk again another time off camera about the interest in fixtures, etc.
Museum?
Yeah. Yes. So now getting back. So now you're in Germany. You're making a good living. You're trying to learn the language a little bit there. You've picked up a pretty good amount of Italian from your time in Italy, right? And now how do you get out of Germany?
Well, I went back to the States. Somehow I got with Ford. So I got with Ford Models, and I went back to New York. I went to New York, and I started working in New York like this. Because I'm a catalog girl. I'm not really a high fashion girl.
Okay. By the way, let me just, because people are like, what? Ford Modeling Agency is so big that it's almost like a punchline of like, it's William Morris Agency calling. It's William Morris. It's Central Casting calling. It's Ford. Even I know Ford Modeling Agency.
You know Ford Models. Okay. So
yes, it's the big one.
Ford Models is huge. It's huge. But I had been living in Italy, and I had this portfolio, I had this book of like magazine shots and blah, blah, blah. They wanted to send me back to Europe to get covers because I didn't have any important covers. I had some covers, but they weren't like Vogue, this, that. And all the really like high haute couture models, they would send to Paris. And then there was sort of like the next tier of girls, they would send those girls to Greece, South Africa, and Spain. So they sent me to Greece. So I went to Greece, and I was supposed to stay there for a few months. I ended up staying a year. Tom, I enjoyed my life. I was enjoying my life. And, I'm in my 20s. I paid off my parents' house. I'm making money like this. I have agencies all over the world. I'm like, I like Greece. I'm gonna.
Yeah. I wonder if we have anybody from Greece watching. By the way, Alex, I think when you're 20 or 22 or 23, you're like, my career is so far behind. I really have to get going. For most people, and you could burn 10 years. You could not do what you're supposed to do until you're 30 and still rally, So I'm so happy that you did take that time in Greece, right? I mean, when you look back now, the idea, especially there's a lot of people who have never been to, yes, who have been to Europe at all. So I love it. So then you're in Greece and you're like, this is fantastic. I'm never leaving.
Well, I have a love-hate relationship with Greece.
Oh, here we go again.
Well, no, not again. I love Italy and I just love it.
Okay.
There's no hate. There are things that bug me, but
yes.
In Greece, again, I love the people. I love the food. I love the land. I love the language. The language is very expressive. Greece is a place that is very, I don't want to put a blanket over everything, but it was the only place that I ever went to where a man told me, a stranger at a dinner told me to be quiet because I was laughing too loudly and it was ugly. And I was like,
but
what?
Yeah. In defense of Greece, that's one schmucky guy potentially.
Well,
but then you saw the attitude more.
That was a lot. I mean, that was a lot. So I had fun in Greece and I enjoyed it for what it was because that's what I did. I mean, but these enjoying life things I've done my entire life, even when I probably shouldn't have done it.
Interesting.
Just because, I mean, when I got married, I stepped back. I didn't want to work as much. When my daughter was born, I retired for 3 years. You
Okay.
know, and for 5 years, I didn't take anything that was out of LA.
Wow.
So, you know, should I have done that for my career? Probably not. Am I a Republican? No. But I just wanted to stay with my daughter. I just had other things to do, as much as I love acting and I love producing and I love being creative and stuff.
Well, you know, Alex, I know Deborah Winger stopped acting when she had a kid. And I know that the reason that they shot I Love Lucy in LA and not New York is because Lucy wanted Desi to stay close to her.
Yeah.
Okay. Because he was on the road, etc. So it's so not, and you know, with your daughter, the magnitude of importance, everything else seems unimportant all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
It's like a very, thing. I want to, only because every time we've had a guest, and so far you've had the most response, the most thumbs up of any guest, we always run out of time. And I know you may run out of time. So I want to get to, because I'm fascinated by this story.
Let's get to it. It's already 2:30, Tom. What's going on?
I know. I think
Tangents.
we need a part 2.
Okay, part 2. Okay.
We need a part 2. So you're in Greece, and now I want to get to at least you can act, because models don't necessarily doesn't mean you can act. So how does that transition happen?
Well, when I was in high school, I took it Second City over the summers. I would work during the day, and I took it at Second City at night.
This is Chicago.
This is in Chicago, when I lived in Chicago. When I came back from Greece, I was pretty well established. And I was working in Miami and New York, and I didn't want to go back to Europe for a little while. So I went to school in Los Angeles at Lee Strasberg Theater Institute. Now, I did not come here and pack my car and drive out. Being the practical person that I am, I sent my headshots out to like 50 agents, and I got an agent, and I came out with a job. And then I started studying at Lee Strasberg, which changed my life.
That good. So for for the people in Chechnya,
who's with the Chechnya? People in Chechnya,
we had 3 hellos from Chechnya and Istanbul. We had Chechnya and Istanbul, who don't necessarily know Second City or Lee Strasberg, but Second City is a really famous improv, let's say, group in Chicago that gave us too many people to list of who ended up becoming famous. And Lee Strasberg is a famous acting teacher. So what was your first job then? You booked a job.
Yeah, it was on the John Larroquette show.
Nice.
It was, and I loved John, and I still loved him, and I did a play with him at the Geffen Theater maybe 10 years ago, and he's wonderful. Yeah, I did his show. He was genius. He's a genius. Yeah.
So now you're in your 20s still when you come out here, right? And then so that's great that what the description you said so perfectly is, a lot of people come out here and go, okay, I'm going to come out. I'll probably land a movie within a few months. I'll have to turn down some roles, but you can't work a lot. And then they don't work for 5 years, and they move back to where they came from. And so,
hi, Barry, I love you too.
Yeah.
Sorry about that time. I'll be interrupting.
No. Can you come to the UK? He loves you, or they love
sweet.
you. Yeah. Hello, Atlanta, Georgia. Yes. So I'm answering that. Yes, she was in her 20s when she took Lee Strasberg. Awesome. So now, Alex, just because I knew this was going to be fun, and I knew that I would enjoy chatting with you, you are getting parts. And now there's a little segue to just accelerate a little, because if it were up to me, we talked for 4 hours. Yes, Minneapolis. Yes. Has anyone heard of it? Great. The life of the actress is parts come out in, where do you read about parts, or where does your agent make you aware of parts?
Hi from Chicago. My agent, like breakdowns. Right.
So breakdown lists. Okay, here's a show called Everest Raymond, and they need a girl who can be speak Italian, not necessarily, but very beautiful, good sense of comedy, and then also can show up on time. And so
That's me.
yes. So let's get to
I show up
that.
on time. Yeah.
Yes.
So Lisa Marie Katz called me in. I never
That's the
met her.
casting. So
That's
this is
the
the
casting
casting
director.
director from Everybody Loves Raymond for the entire time of the series.
A fantastic woman, a wonderful casting director. Then there are casting directors that are wonderful, and there are casting directors that don't want to be casting directors. You
Right.
know, Lisa's fantastic. She's
Yes.
wonderful.
I love Lisa.
Yes. So I went into audition with her because I didn't know anybody, so I had to go meet all the casting directors. I auditioned for her. She worked with me a bit. I went home waiting. Oh, then in a few days, you have a callback. Yay! Great. You're going to meet the producers. Yay! I go in and I meet some of the producers. I don't know. Were you in that room?
No, I would have remembered if I would have said yes to you.
I am producing something that's coming up, and I'll talk about it in a minute.
I love it.
So I do the audition again for the producers, wherever that was, and then I go. And now we know, I didn't know then. No, actually I did, because I was already sort of working. After 1 or 2 times going in, you either got it or you don't, for a guest star.
Yes.
This was a guest star.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
for a series regular. Series regular, it's more complicated.
Yes.
So they call me back. She calls me again, where my agent calls me and says, hey, they want to see you again, but the executive producer wants to see you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, fine. I go in again, and I read for Phil, and I have no idea what he's thinking. I remember that I'm like, does this guy like me? And now I'm getting nervous because, okay, and then I go back, don't hear anything for a little while. Then they call me again, 4th time back.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what you do for series regular.
For a guest role is kind of unheard of, because
it's unheard of.
Because just for the people watching, when you have a guest role, there's not a lot weighing on it unless you have bigger plans for that guest role. But you would come in only the casting director reads everybody, and then she narrows it down to, let's say, 10 people. And then those people come in and read, and you go, who did you like? I like the first one. I like the second. Well, okay, I'm going to go with the first one. Okay, great. And then sometimes the person doesn't pull it off, and they get fired after the table read, and then you recast again in one day. So what Alex went through is a lot of hurdles.
So I did. So come back. I read for Phil. They call me again. They want you to come back to see your chemistry with Brad Garrett. You're going to have to meet Brad Garrett and read with him. Mm-hmm. I was thrilled because at this time, Everybody Loves Raymond was like the #1 show.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it was
season 5. Season 5,
huge.
It was big, yeah.
It was like mega, white hot, huge. There was no streaming. There was no this. There was like regular TV, and if you wanted to watch it, it was assignment TV, and you had to be there.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
appointment TV. Yeah, assignment TV sounds like work.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's appointment TV. Yeah.
So I go in and I read with Brad, and all the producers are there now. All the producers. I'm like, holy shit! This is a guest star, but my God. I read with Brad. He's hilarious. I can barely read with Brad. I barely got my lines out because I was laughing hysterically the whole time.
Yeah.
And I leave. I'm like, forget it. They hated me. I didn't even say my lines. And so then they call me again, and they say, now Ray Romano wants to meet you. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Just cast me or not, I'm gonna faint if I meet Ray. So I go in, I read again with Brad. Again, I don't even do my lines because Brad is just being Brad and making me laugh. And I leave, and I wait for like 2 weeks. And then the casting director or my agent calls me, hi, Justin, and says, you know what? They really liked you, but they're going to go to Italy and see if they can find like a real Italian girl who can speak Italian and English.
Wow. Yes. Heartbreaking.
Oh my. Tom, I am a tough cookie, and I
Yes.
put everything into my auditions, and if I don't get it or when it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
There are very few auditions where I was crushed. I can
Yeah.
count them on this hand.
Yeah.
That was one of them. I couldn't move for like
Yeah.
days. I was crushed.
Yeah. Well, and to bring you back, generally, it's kind of like pulling a Band-Aid off. Usually, you just don't hear from them. You go in and you read, and then the casting director, and and the best advice for actors who are trying out is don't think about it. Just go in, do your best, and then don't think about it. But the fact that you came in so many times, the crushing disappointment is, these sound like terrible people. I can't believe they did this to you.
I came in so many times. I had so much fun at the auditions, and I was like, wow, I've been in 5 times, and then like, they're gonna go to Italy.
Yes. There'll be hundreds of funny Italian speaking women there who they could cast.
Well, they came back. I don't know how long later. I was in a blur. It was a blur by then for me, and they said, "Guess what? You got it." And it was, oh my God, it was better than a series regular. It was so fantastic. It was not just for me, for my whole family.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents were so famous at Olive Garden because of me. I got free wine because of me.
Okay. For those in Chechnya, Olive Garden is an Italian chain restaurant. So now you get, and what do you do first? Do you go to Italy first, or you go to Italy first?
We went to Italy. So I get this huge guest star, and I go to Italy with CBS and HBO and Raymond and Phil and the whole family and Peter Boyle and Lorraine, and that's where I became really good friends with Lorraine and Peter.
Yeah.
And Phil's a foodie, as you know, and the whole world knows, and we're going out to these fantastic restaurants every night. Not necessarily fancy, just like some restaurants in the mountains that has this wild boar ragu that only, just the coolest places. It was the experience of a lifetime. And plus, I get these fantastic words. And I have this fantastic heart. And I get to work with all these very talented, wonderful, really nice people. It was a dream. It was a dream.
And so then they shoot in Italy, and then they come back, and it's a combination. So they shoot in Italy, and then they shoot in the United States. And so what you did, because I remember Phil being so excited, like, we found the perfect girl, and we were all like, I hope you torture her.
Did I say that?
Yeah, I hope
you know that.
I hope you torture her and don't let her get that part. We were all like, she can't be that good. No, but I remember hearing that you were from Chicago, and because it's stuck in our head, because you're when you're a writer, you want somebody to hit the material out of the park, and so you elevated. You're looking for someone to perform better than the lame stuff that you've written, so you look better as the writer. So you really hit it out of the park, because it's this rare combination of attractive sense of, and Patty Heaton has it in spades too, beautiful and ability to act, comedic sense, bring drama, all that stuff. It's so hard to find, and so you nailed that. And so obviously for the storyline, and people, I'm going back through all these questions. For the storyline, Robert falls in love with you. And the way Robert's character is, we can't have him marry you. I mean, it's too much of a catch. It's too much. His life would be going well, And so, and also, Monica. And by the way, it's not because Monica's married to the executive producer that she got the role of Robert's.
Monica's brilliant. She's wonderful.
Right. And just character-wise, because if you think about it, what would life be like with you and Robert?
Oh my gosh, he would be so fat, because I would be cooking wonderful food for him constantly. And we'd have like 7 kids. Yeah, he'd just be like,
well, maybe that. Yeah, maybe that isn't a bad lifestyle. But I think for the arc of the show, Phil wanted Robert to get married eventually. And I think marrying you would have been a little bit of a left turn for Robert's character. You know, it would have been.
Yeah.
So then you're in all these subsequent episodes, which I don't want to get into detail on them because, again, we're going to run out of time. I think let's do this. I'm going to summarize real quickly. You're an actress. You get cast as Stefania. You hit it out of the park. For the people that love Everett Raymond, they just see you appear on screen as like this, oh my gosh, this woman is fantastic and beautiful, and how have we not heard of her? And I think it's very common, even Patty Heaton, just because we're talking to fans of Everett Raymond here, not the global, you know. Patty Heaton worked a lot before Everett Raymond, but wasn't a household name. So you had a pretty good career before Everett Raymond, and you're still, you know, working a lot. And so I just want to touch real quickly on what you're doing now, and then go back to Everett Raymond, and also, you know, talk about the Peter Boyle IMF thing.
Yeah,
so,
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. So you said you had something coming out, I read somewhere this week, or?
Yes, I have a film called Wall of Mexico, and it streams on Tuesday. It's going to be streaming everywhere, and it stars Isai Morales and myself, and Jackson Rathbone, the dreamy guy from Twilight, and our daughters are Marisol Sacramento and Carmela Zumbado.
Nice.
And it is a very kind of, it's not what you would think The Wall of Mexico would be. It's a very sexy, kind of creepy film. Our daughters are very well educated and entitled, and they do a lot of drugs and have a lot of sex. And we're a very beautiful Mexican family that never ages. And it's no, I'm not Italian. I'm sorry. I know.
No. By the way, I'm sorry. I'm reading the comments as I'm listening about The Wall, which you can find streaming starting the 13th.
Everywhere on Tuesday. Amazon.
On Tuesday.
Hulu, Zulu, on demand. Yeah.
And so I think you're related to The Wall and the project you're doing, and the fact that you spoke such beautiful Italian in the show. Your father was a Mexican immigrant?
He was an immigrant from Mexico City.
Okay.
Yes.
From Mexico City. And your mother was?
Ukrainian.
Okay. Seems to be a good combo if you're going to have kids. So but the Wall project, you're fluent in Spanish or
semi-fluent.
Yes,
I speak Italian better, I think.
Great.
But,
I love that. And it comes across in the show. I have a lot of Italian relatives, you know, and they loved when you spoke Italian because it's the only part. Yeah, the only part you can understand. They could understand. But that, you know, here, nobody on the cast was Italian other than Ray, but you bought them as an Italian family.
Right.
You know, and it's a lot of people ask, is Brad really like that? Is Ray really like that? Ray actually is kind of like that character. But I saw an interview with Joaquin Phoenix, and people were like, "Is he really like the Joker?" He's saying this, and he's like, "It's acting. You know, it's acting. It's these people are. That's the beauty of their acting. You know, of being an actor." And so, for you, getting back to The Wall and coming from your background as you were, was this project close to your heart in some way? Like, how did it come about?
It is. It's close to my heart because it's very timely about what's happening now and how I feel about the debacle and at the border, Mexican border, but not even there. Baby, I'm doing an interview, babe. I'm still doing it.
Oh, hold on. I'm on with Alex Meneses. I can't take a call for anybody. Okay.
My daughter, she wants some. She's probably hungry or something.
Oh, okay. Someone's saying hello from Cyprus. Who doesn't know?
Oh, I've been to Cyprus. It's an amazing place.
I've been to Cyprus as well.
Yes.
It's beautiful. They don't know Second City. Okay. I love the cocktail party episode when Peter's getting it on with Mean Peggy and Ray is trying to distract him with the lovely Stefania.
Oh, I don't have that.
You don't remember that, or you can't read it?
No, I don't have that.
Oh, there's so many comments that you have to scroll up.
Okay.
It's a testimonial to your popularity.
Oh, good.
Yes,
good.
they like that. Yes, the beautiful. Yes,
and your show.
That's Amy. Yeah, Amy Aquino played brilliantly. So now, Alex, I just want to go real quickly. People ask about you staying in touch with anyone from the cast, etc. Phil Rosenthal has a movie night. This is for the ELR fans. He has a movie night every Sunday. He's had it ever since he had zero money and lived in a little teeny apartment. And he would get joy in sharing movie experiences with friends. Now he has a bigger apartment and he shares it with a lot of friends. And so at Phil's house, sometimes you'll see there's Alex Meneses, there's Stefania, and there's the cookie lady also at the same pizza night. So I'm just accelerating this so staying in touch with people. The short answer for you would be yes, you stay in touch with people from the show.
Yes, I do. And with Ray, he lives 2 blocks away from me. You know that, right?
I do. I do. I do. Yes, I do.
And I'm very much in touch with Lorraine Boyle still.
Peter
and
Boyle's
her daughters.
wife. Yes.
Peter Boyle's wife.
Lucy, yes.
And remember, on October 23rd is the charity event for myeloma.
Yep.
And a very exciting event, a very exciting thing is happening at that charity.
So, every year, Lorraine Boyle organized a comedy celebration of Peter Boyle's life, and it was a charity benefit for the International Multiple Myeloma Foundation or Myeloma Foundation, the IMF. And if you look now, if you go to their website, you'll see that there's a mention of a Raymond reunion. And what it is going to be is a table read of scenes, meaning all the actors are reading scenes, select scenes from some of the fan favorite episodes. And by popular demand, Stefania made an appearance and did it brilliantly also.
Yeah.
Sure. Yes.
Yes,
wow,
it was so much fun. Thank you for asking me.
Yes.
To do that. That was
very
sweet. And I'm so glad I got to do my Yelly scene.
Yes.
I love that one.
Someone wrote, OMG, you look so fine for your age. That one's directed to me. Okay, yeah, so excited for the 23rd. Yeah, the 23rd is great. Can you watch The Wall in Chechnya?
Yes, you can. It's streaming everywhere.
Okay, there is no... So here's where you can't watch it. North Korea and Iran. Other than that, you can watch The Wall, featuring Alex, who looks
Meneses.
very good. Yeah.
I'll send you the trailer. You can put the trailer on.
Yeah, and Alex, can you give us a little bit of Italian right now? Just because I'm reading 50 questions that are asking.
Non riesco a credere che sono venuto qua in America solamente per te. Non mi ha neanche chiamato di persona, mi ha fatto la tua mamma per pregarmi di venire.
Why are you mad at me, Alex? I'm not. I'm inviting you here. By the way, there's so much, and I know you have to go. There's so much. This was so interesting. The whole modeling career, all of these steps. I do want you to come back again because I want to talk about, for example, with Tucker and Phil, one or two stories is the whole hour, and so. And with Brad Garrett, we just talked a little bit about Emmys.
I love when he's on. He's hilarious. But I have a new show coming out up that is like really, really in development. I had 4 shows. 2 of them got annexed, but I have one that is like probably really going to happen. So
yes.
I want to come back and talk about that.
Oh yeah. Do you know? Because Phil's show is getting renewed again, and he has a 4th season coming out at the end of October. So he'll come out. Oh, how was it working with David Preval? Was the question.
Oh my gosh, he's the sweetest. Are you gonna have David?
I don't know. Here's the problem, Alex. Much like Ray will do this show, and Ray will be brilliant, and Ray will be great. Ray doesn't even know what does that even mean? So with David Preval and a lot of the Raymond writers, right, is they don't have Instagram, and so. We're kind of like doing television in the early 50s where people are like, well, I do radio. What is this new television thing? And you've embraced it.
They're
yes.
talking.
You've embraced it and you've done great. But there's a lot of people who are completely, they're like, I don't want to do Instagram.
I had no choice. When I was doing the show with Eva Longoria, telenovela, a few years ago,
yeah,
we had to go on. We had lessons to learn about Instagram.
Well, I know. I'm friends with Allison Janney, and she's like, I have to do Twitter. And I'm like, Do the 8 Emmys and the Oscar, does that count for anything? No, they want Twitter followers. They really want Twitter followers. It's like, okay, build that Twitter, thing. Yes, Ray can ask his kids if he really wanted to. Yes, true.
Yeah,
Ray will
it's
do
true.
it.
He does, because he doesn't really want to.
Oh no, he wants to. It's just a matter of scheduling it, because I think next week we're gonna be talking to Elizabeth Herring, who, as you know, is the dialogue coach who was in on every single scene pretty much. I'm sorry, was that your dog? I missed that.
That was Valentino.
Oh, nice. I was reading that. So now you must get recognized as Stefania.
Tom, before I did Raymond, I was a series regular on 2 shows.
Right.
Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, and Sherman Oaks.
Now you're just bragging, Alex. Now you're just bragging.
I did 1 episode of Raymond.
Yes.
And I was attacked at the airport. I had people touching me. I had people screaming. I couldn't believe it. I'm still recognized.
Yeah.
Raymond was years ago, and I'm still recognized.
Well, it's an iconic role. You looked great in the role you play, and it was so memorable that I think, yes, of course. And look, there's a gentleman I know, an actor who played the dry cleaner on Seinfeld, and he literally got recognized coming out, leaving Mexico at the TSA as the dry cleaner. And he said, how many people are, he's 80. He's had a crazy long career, and it's the only thing that he gets recognized for. But Alex, you must get some people going, gosh, you look familiar. How do I know you?
Did I go to high school with you?
Yeah.
Did you go to Calabasas? And I'm like, no. I get that a lot because I've done different characters. I've done character acting as well as lead kind of roles, and so people recognize me, but they really don't know where to place me.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Now, Alex, you must come back. You must come back. It's what I predicted, that we run out of time. You're very entertaining. All these people are saying I have a crush on you, but that is so true. Let me see.
That you have a crush on me?
Yeah, they're just saying, it's just these people that write. I don't know what they're talking about. But I think, and by the way, Alex, also, like here we're talking, right? But you're once you're in the public eye, you have to have your guard up a little. And I think that's one of the reasons Ray, who's a very sensitive guy, he doesn't want to get, sometimes he's made the mistake of reading comments on the internet, and people can be so mean.
Yeah.
Just so mean.
Yes.
It's really a tough thing. So you have to have your guard, and a lot of people have to keep, I would say to anybody creative, you just got to keep doing it and ignore these really terrible comments that are out there from people. And you got to feel bad for the people that write these, that take the time to go, I'm going to be mean to Alex Meneses and write that you're not really Italian. I knew it. It's like, okay.
Oh, next time I have a really good story for you about a very strange fan.
Oh.
It's like scary. Well, actually, I had a few of those, but there was one that was like with my parents. But
okay.
But also you have to have a life. You have to have a real life.
Yes.
Yeah. And so you don't have to depend on what everyone's saying about you.
Yes. And so and I do try and make this a safe place in that there is no stupid question. I'm very happy to answer the same question 20 times. These are all this. If you look at it before we say goodbye, Alex, you are a part of this little pocket of this show, which is a family show. It's a safe environment. Behind the scenes, it was a family environment. Everybody, you still see Phil. We still see Ray. These guys are just really nice guys. And Phil and Ray, Phil and Ray set the tone for such a great environment.
Exactly.
And we've talked in the past with other people about shows where they wouldn't even have a Christmas party because people couldn't be in the same room together.
Yeah.
And here we have, I see you fairly, I see you here, there,
Once in a while.
Yeah. And I think it just, for this safe little oasis, especially in this time, I love that you visit us, that you yelled at us in Italian. I mean, it's you couldn't ask for more. So now we're running out of time.
Thank you. I can't wait to see you all again.
Yes, say hello to Chechnya, Cyprus, Australia.
Hi,
Uh,
Chechnya,
yeah,
Cyprus, Australia,
Manchester.
Nostrovia,
Yes,
Yasu.
yes. The short answer, someone asked about Peter Boyle. Yes, Peter Boyle and Lorraine. Lorraine used to write for Rolling Stone, friends with John Lennon, and John Lennon was the best man at Peter and Lorraine's wedding. That's the short of it. And October 23rd, we can see you, right? If they go to IMF,
Yes.
they can see
And
you.
go to myeloma and donate, give money, so
Yes.
we can stop this terrible cancer.
Yes.
And watch
Yes.
the reunion.
Yes.
Watch
Yes.
the Raymond reunion.
I'm laughing because that was perfectly put. By the way, you might not know this, Alex, but when I guest hosted the Late Late Show after Letterman when Craig Kilborn left. So I was a guest host. I was in the running to be the permanent guest host.
Were you?
Yes, yeah.
That.
And it went great. But you were one of the people that I was like, I should have her as one of my guests. But they already had a woman. They already had a beautiful woman that they wanted to be a guest, and that went really well, that interview. But I think next time, if I'm guest hosting something, because look at this time, we've been on for 59.3 minutes, and it's like that.
A long time. I know my dog's coming in here.
All right.
I'm gonna make her some shrimps. She wants some shrimps and rice.
Oh, that's very impressive. I'll be over. It's about 15 minutes. I got to get in the car. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
I'll
bring your daughter. I want to see her.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Bye, Barry.
Bye.